Bookish Babes, and welcome to day 5 of the 12 Days of Bookmas. Around here, my name's Rainy. I read a lot of different types of books from all different types of genres, so if you're interested in that, like and subscribe down below. It really helps my channel grow. In today's video, we are going to be doing one of the most popular videos that everybody does at different points of the year. This TBR will self-destruct in 12 months, okay? So I have 12 books that are going to self-destruct from my TBR, basically meaning that if I have not read them in 12 months, then they are going away. Alright friends, I've had to pause this video like 3 different times to make Miss Ma'am go back to sleep because she is just not wanting to go to sleep. I think she's starting to get sick. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm going to try to film this as quickly as possible. I picked 12 books that I just feel like if I don't give myself a reason to read these books, I'm not going to read these books. Now, I didn't pick all of the books from the very top of my shelf, which if you saw day 4 of Bookmas, then you saw my bookshelf tour, and all the books on the top of the shelf were books that I already am not sure if I'm ever going to read. And I feel like it would have been too easy to do that, so I also picked books that I felt much more confident about, but not necessarily. I don't really know how to explain it. I saw a book and I went, okay, I think this will work, okay? So I have 12 books that if I don't read by the end of next year, then I am literally saying you're going in the garbage. And the garbage means I'm selling it to a bookstore, okay? And this is in no semblance of order. This is not by a specific genre. This is just all by vibes, okay? You heard it here first. It's all by vibes. So let's go. Book number 1, my mom would be very sad that is on this list because she is obsessed with this series. And I don't know, I've just never had an inkling or an itching to pick it up. And that is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. And I figure if I don't pick this up, then I can get rid of 4 books on my shelf and create more space for these books. This is basically if Cinderella was a cyborg, is what I'm getting at, okay? I don't know a lot about it. I do own 4 of the books, but I think there's 6 books now. I don't really know where this series is going. This is the old cover, which I do appreciate a lot more than the original one, or than the new ones. But I don't know. I feel like I need a reason to read this, okay? I just need a reason, and this is the reason. This one I feel like people are going to get mad at me for having on this list. However, I've tried reading it twice. I've soft DNF'd it. I figure the 3rd time is the charm, right? And that is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I'm not a historical fiction girly. However, I am loving The Four Winds. The reason this one I think is not working for me, in fact I know why it's not working for me, is because it's a World War II book. And I just could care less about that. That was one of my least favorite times to learn about in history. I just we've heard about it so many times at this point, I don't want to hear about it again. I was way more interested in world history. So this one I know is about 2 sisters and focuses more on the women's part of World War II. I don't know much more beyond that because like I said, I've soft DNF'd it twice. I've gotten to page, I think the furthest I've gotten is page 85 or something like that. So I don't know. This is probably going to go away. I'm going to try my best. And I know that there's a movie now. So maybe I could read this so I can watch the movie. The next one is a book that I literally said in my bookshelf tour I don't feel like I could get rid of in good conscience. However, I don't think I can keep it in good conscience because it's taking up space on my shelf. And I just don't ever see myself wanting to read this. And that is The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axio. The only reason I got this is because I forgot to skip Illumicrate for that month. And I slowly have learned that I don't really care for a lot of the books that Illumicrate gives, for their actual books of the month. I care about the books that they pick up, randomly. And while this is absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, okay? It's a beautiful book. I have no desire to read this. I don't even know what this is really about. I just know it says, don't chase fate, let fate chase you. It's a mesmerizing retelling of something. And I might get to it, I might not, okay? But I do want to keep it. I mean, it's signed, y'all. It's signed. It's just so beautiful. Oh, and this is from Fairy Loot, actually. Okay, that's funny. Well, either way, it's very beautiful. So we shall see. The next book is one that everybody says only part 1 should exist and that you shouldn't read part 2. You should pretend it doesn't exist. And I just need to know for myself or just get it off the shelf. And that is The Chain by Adrienne McKenty. Everybody says that this should have been a novella. The first part is fantastic and then we get to part 2. I need to know what part 2 is. Okay. I need to know. I do know it says you just dropped off your child at the bus stop. A panicked stranger calls your phone. Your child's been kidnapped. The stranger explains their child has also been kidnapped by a completely different stranger. The only way to get your child back is to kidnap another child. You are now part of the chain. That is extremely intriguing to me, but also terrifying, okay? Because when children are involved, like, I just freak out. Obviously, because I have 2 children. 2 little chipotle peppers, if you will. So I gotta see what this is all about. Okay, book number 5 is one of the first books that I bought back when I was becoming a booktube girly, and I just don't know if it's really for me anymore, but I've heard good things about it, so I didn't want to get rid of it. It almost did not make the cut for the 61 book haul the other day. And that is Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed. I believe this is like some coming of age story that basically says what happens when you do the right thing for the wrong reason. I don't know much further than that. I just know that a couple of people that I know in real life and on the internet have read this and did enjoy it. So I am keeping it for now, but like I said, it's on the outs, okay? It might go away. This next one, it's like I either read it or I get rid of it. Because I've been saying I'm going to read it for forever and I have not read it. And I just need to know for myself whether I'm going to like it or love it. And that is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Yes, I am saying that I will get rid of this, friends. Okay? I don't know anything about this except for it's about a guy named Jude and basically his life falls apart and everything that could happen to him that's bad goes bad, and that some people say is brilliant and beautiful and sad and like just mesmerizing, and some people say it's torture porn. Which one is it? I don't know. Are we gonna find out? Oh yes we are. Next one, it really should be 2 books by this author because I absolutely hated one of their books, but I figure I need to give them a second chance, and if I hate this one as well, then I can just get rid of the 3rd one on my shelf, you know? And that is Conversations with Friends by Miss Sally Rooney, because I hated normal people. First off, can Miss Ma'am use quotation marks in her books? No, she does not. She does not use quotation marks, which baffles and boggles my mind. Don't get me started on that. But I just need to know if she is for me or she is not for me. And I know that this one is about conversations with friends. I just didn't feel like reading the back of the book. I think there is a movie for this now too, or a show, or an adaptation, or something happening, but I just need to know. If I hate this, then I'm also going to get rid of Beautiful World, Where Are You? And then we're kind of actually getting rid of 13 books, but we're going to try to live our best lives and give Miss Rooney her final chance. Next one I almost unhauled already because I've heard nothing but bad things about it, but I absolutely loved the first book that I read by this author duo so bad. Like, I want to believe that they can make this work for me. And that is Do I Know You by Emily Wibberley and Austin Siegmund Broca. They wrote The Roughest Draft, which was one of my favorite romances of 2022. I loved it. I thought it was beautiful. It was a book that wasn't quite closed door, but it didn't have nearly as much spice as like other books. And it was a second chance romance, which is what they excel in. And I was just loving it. I was eating it up. I was living my best life. I was thriving. I was surviving. Okay? This one, I believe, is about a couple that they basically are on the ends or on the brink of divorce, and then they end up going on this vacation or retreat with other people, and someone thinks that they are newly married, and so they decide to pretend that they are newly like dating or something, and basically like fall back in love with each other. But I know that this was supposed to be the buddy read book for Rom-Comathon a couple of months back, and nobody really read it because they hated it. So I need to know why everybody hated it, because I really loved the first book of theirs. So I need to see if this can work for me as well. This one is a thriller that I've just had on my shelf for forever. I think it's one of the first thrillers I bought, and so I either read it or it goes vamoose, and that is The Whisper Man by Alex North, okay? It is about someone, I think it's about a serial killer that is the Whisper Man, and he would lure his victims up by whispering their windows at night, and so this new family moves into the town a couple of years after he's been like captured, and it starts happening all over again or something like that. So I just want to know for myself, is Alex North someone that I'm going to continue to pick up from? Because I do also have The Shadows, and I haven't bought his new book yet. I think The Angels or The Matchmaker or The Flame, whatever it's called. So I want to see if I should consider him a good author to read from, or just get rid of the other books. I have a book that has quite a lot of books in the series, and so I figure I should read the first book and just decide whether I'm going to collect the rest of them, because I have at least book 2, or I should get rid of the first 2 to create a lot more room on my shelves and not end up buying all of them, because I am a notorious buyer of series without knowing if I'm going to like them, okay? And that is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. She is the author of Priory of the Orange Tree, and I believe this is a series that she had before or after that she's still writing. And I'm not going to try to explain what this is about, because honestly, I'm very confused. But I will read this one sentence. The Bone season introduces a compelling heroine, a young woman discovering her powers in a world where everything has been taken from her. It also introduces an extraordinary young writer with huge ambition and a teeming imagination. Okay, that's all you need to know. But do I need this on my shelf or do I not need this on my shelf? Because even a dreamer can start a revolution. The next one is from Illumicrate. It's very pretty. However, I've not heard a single person say that this book is good. So just because a book is pretty doesn't mean you should keep it on your shelf if you're never going to read it, okay? And that is Book of Night by Miss Holly Black. It has black sprayed edges. I mean, this is very pretty. It's like very nice, okay? Okay, it looks very, very nice. However, not a single soul has said this book is good, okay? So I'm a little scared. I've just heard that it kind of tanked and that I'm not going to enjoy it. However, it's less than 300 pages, so I know I can get through it, okay? I just need to commit, and what better way than to have it self-destruct. And the last book is probably the oldest book on my TBR. And I'm pretty sure it was also Meg with Books' oldest book on my TBR. I've had this book for forever, and I just am not picking up this series, so that's going to change with the new year. And that is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. I own all 4 books in this series. Have I read any of them? No. Was I supposed to read this for Halloween? Yes, and I didn't. Okay? So I'm making it happen. I mean, it's literally about a girl who loved Jack the Ripper. Like, could I not be more intrigued? I mean, come on. I don't know why I haven't read this, if we're being honest. Maybe it's because I've also heard that people say it's not that good, but I think it is a YA. I don't know. It's by the same woman that wrote Kingdom of the Wicked, and I almost put that on here, so I would have had 2 Carrie books on here. But we won't give this a chance, okay, so that we can make some progress in this series. And those are the 12 books that are going to self-destruct as of this year, okay? Or as of next year. I need to read these books, and so I will just feel a million times lighter and brighter if I get rid of books that are just not self-serving, okay? So with that, I'm going to let you go. We're going to go take a nap. I mean, not a nap. We're going to go to sleepity sleep. And I will see you on day 6 of Bookmas.